Hey, it's Ray. So today I'm just kind of playing around with some makeup because I have an event to go to tomorrow, which is kind of like a debutante party, so it's a little bit formal. So I've just been practicing and playing around with my makeup today, and I decided to film a few tutorials for you guys. So the first one is just going to be kind of my foundation routine. It's not my everyday routine. I actually don't wear foundation or makeup in general on a daily basis. So this isn't like an everyday routine. Like when I do my makeup for work or just for kind of every day, I don't wear as much makeup as I'm wearing right now. So this is my foundation and what it looks like when I kind of go all out in full coverage. And this is a made up look, not like a natural makeup look. This is my very made up foundation routine. So the only thing that I have done since the end of the tutorial is fill in my eyebrows. So that's the only additional thing I have on from the end of the video. And there is one thing that I forgot to do, and I'm just going to go ahead and do it now, is I usually take either my all-nighter spray from Urban Decay, my Scandinavia spray, they're the exact same thing, or when I'm not going to be in makeup for a really long time because my makeup that I'm wearing is already really long wearing, I just spritz my face with the Mark Mist Opportunity face mister, which is, you can also use Fix Plus, which works really well. And what I do is I'll just spritz my face, and then I'll take my dual fiber kabuki again and just stipple so that the moisture is evenly kind of dispersed on my face. And I'll just continue to stipple my face until it's dry. Even though it's a makeup full coverage look, you know, some natural life to the skin is actually really nice. So I just add that bit of moisture back on top, on the very top layer of the foundation, so that it looks not as crusty and dry, I guess you could say. So if you want to see how I achieve this foundation look, just go ahead and stay tuned. So the first thing that I do is my face is washed and moisturized. I'm just going to take my Hard Candy Sheer Envy primer and take that on my fingers and just apply that all over my face with my fingers. Next thing I'll do is just take my palette and I'll take a pump of my colorstay. My colorstay foundation is in this little travel pump bottle. One, because I want to pump, and two, because I'm a mix between two colors, and they are caramel and cappuccino. And I just like to pre-mix them so that I have my shade already made out. I don't have to mix it every day. So I'll take a pump of that and put it onto my palette. And I'm going for a lot of coverage. And I'll take a pump of my Makeup Forever HD foundation, which I believe this is 77, but my number has rubbed off, so I'm not sure. And I'll put that right on top of the colorstay. And for today, foundation brush, I'm going to use my Sonia Kashuk Flat Top Bronzer. And I'll just dip that into the foundation, and I apply my foundation towards the center of my face and blend it out towards the edges. And then I just buff in circular motions, pulling the foundation out towards the frame of my face. And then again, with the colorstay, about a half a pump this time, and a half a pump of the Makeup Forever HD. And again, I'm going for a lot of coverage. I know a lot of people might think this is too much makeup, but both these foundations are really lightweight on my face, and I just want a lot of coverage. I'm going for a kind of made up look, not really a natural look. And again, center of my face. So I do kind of between my eyebrows, my nose, above my lip, and on my chin. And I blend that out accordingly. So once I have all my foundation blended out, I will take my concealer. The concealer that I normally use is the NYX concealer in a jar. My color is in Nutmeg, but I'm running really low. I need to get a new one. So recently I've been using my Iman stick foundation in Earth 4. And the brush that I like to use is kind of a doe foot applicator. This one is from Bdellium Tools. It's the number 769. Dab off any extra concealer onto my palette and apply that underneath my eyes. I also blend it out up onto my cheekbones a little bit. Concealer is a little bit lighter than my skin tone, so it can double as a highlighter. I also like to just take a regular concealer brush, just like a flat one, dabbing the excess on my palette and concealing underneath my eyebrows to kind of shape them. And I'll go back with my doe foot brush and blend up the edges of the concealer underneath my eyes. Because I use the Colorstay foundation for oily skin and I have very dry skin, I don't powder this foundation. I find that it dries enough to where it's not going to move. It's already a long wearing foundation, so it tends not to budge. And because it's a little bit drier, it just finishes well on my skin, which is why it's very, very important for me to moisturize very well prior to applying this foundation when I'm using this one. And also the fact that I mix it with the HD makes it a little bit less drying to my skin. So this next trick is a trick that I learned from Goss Makeup Artist, and it's just to remove all the excess oil after I've already applied my foundation. And what he suggests is that you use tissue paper. I actually just use blotting sheets. I've had blotting sheets. My mom bought them for me years ago. These ones are from Mark. And I'm not oily, so I never use them, and I just decided to use them to pick up the excess oil from the foundation so that my face doesn't look too shiny. So I'm just going to do that in areas where I feel like there's some excess oil and shine. So now I have this, and I will set the concealer under my eyes just because I do have some fine lines and I don't want the concealer and the foundation under there to settle. And for that I use the MAC. This is the Select Sheer Loose Powder, and I use NC45. My foundation color MAC is NC50, so this is a little bit lighter. It is sheer, so it doesn't matter so much, and I like that it's NC, so the yellow tone in it will help to cancel out dark circles. So I just use a big fluffy brush and set the concealer under my eyes. And I also set the concealer that's under my eyebrows. Next thing I'll do is I'll take a cream blush, are my favorite types of blush to use. The majority of my collection of blushes are cream. And this one is from NYX and it's in the color tan, and it's kind of the most natural for my skin tone. And I'll just take that on a dual fiber brush. This one I got from coastalscents.com, and it's this dual fiber blusher. And I'll get the product on there and distribute it onto both cheeks and blend it out. The next thing that I like to do is to contour, and I use the Iman blush in Sable, which looks like that. It's just a little bit of a reddish brown. It's a little bit darker than my skin tone. Sonia Kashuk angled brush. And I go right under my cheekbones and up to my temple some. Right under my cheekbones and up to my temple some. And then I blend that out. Contour my jawline just a little bit. And I don't know if you can tell, but my cheek color is already pretty gone. So I'm just going to go over it with a powder cheek product. And this one is Warm Berry from Black Radiance, which looks like that. And this color is really, really strong. So I'm just going to use a little bit, and I'm going to use that same brush, like the smallest amount. This color is really pigmented. I will also take, I forgot to do this, my contouring color again, just a little bit of it, a light dusting on my brush, and contour the sides of my nose. And I know some people might think this is like a way too big of a brush, but I'm not really going for like a really precise contour. And I'm using very little bit of product, but I can see the difference. It's not meant to be like an extremely obvious difference, but I can see it enough and I like the way it looks. I just like to take a dual fiber brush. This is my EcoTools dual fiber kabuki. Regular dual fiber brushes work as well. And I just like to buff all around my face really lightly, just to make sure and ensure that everything is blended. I'll also put a little bit of face powder on this brush if I feel like I'm still a little bit too shiny, which today I don't feel like I have that problem. I just have a little bit of shine on my cheeks, which I actually like, which is why I like to use cream blush and the baked blush, because it has a little bit of glow to it. But I'll just buff to make sure that everything's blended, but I don't really want to move my products around too much, which is why I like to use the dual fiber brush, because it's such a lighter brush on the skin. And that is how I do my full coverage foundation routine. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments below. And until my next video, I'll see you all soon.